Welcome back to our Goorm IDE series. And in our last video, we installed phpMyAdmin. In this video, we're just going to set it up and hopefully start a database. I'm in my container right now, and one thing that I will do, because I have a text file in here, I'll open up this startup text file, and that has my commands to start up my server and also to start up my SQL server as well. So I'm going to highlight this, paste it here, hit enter, and make sure my SQL server is running, and if it says done, that's good. And then I'm also going to have the Apache web server running, so I'll put that in here. And what I'll do next is connect to phpMyAdmin, and I'll do that through project, running URL and port. And the easiest thing is just to click on this and open it up. And if you go back here, you could cancel out of here. Now in this new tab here, remember you just want to go here and put a /phpMyAdmin. And then we were using root as our password to get in. And I'm not going to do anything yet. Just one thing to point out, font size here, you could kind of set this up. I think this is the normal size. You could do, like, I'm on a Mac, so if I do Command plus, it'll make it a little bit bigger. You could do Control plus if you're on Windows. But I'm going to show you also how to make your code bigger in here. So if you do any SQL in here, it's really tiny, and you're not going to want to write any SQL code in here like that. So I'll show you how to change that as well. So that'll be part of our setup. But let me just get back here. One thing I just want to point out, that if MySQL server is running, we could type MySQL and go into the console like we did in the previous video. And what would you do in here? Well, there's not a whole lot we can do yet because we didn't start a database, but even if you just went show and put databases, and I'll just hit enter, and there's our databases. Those are those 5 items, if you remember these 5 items here. So that's what it's showing when I go here, information schema and these things. And you could choose one of them, you could show tables. It's not really going to help us right now, but we can use SQL in the terminal here to do that. And in our MySQL console is actually where we're doing that. I'll just stay in here right now. I'm going to go back to phpMyAdmin, and I just want to show you a couple things. Before we even make a database yet, I want to make sure that we can change our font size. Now, one way to do that is, I'm in Chrome, so I'm going to go to Chrome settings, and I'm going to go to appearance. In appearance, you'll see font size, and it just says medium recommended, and it has customized fonts. I'm going to go in there right now. And you can see there's the standard font, there's the standard serif font, which is usually Times, standard sans serif Helvetica. And I changed this. This was Courier, which Courier is a little bit harder to read. I made it Andale Mono, which I think is fine on Mac and Windows. So I made it Andale Mono. But it's only 16 point, and in phpMyAdmin it's even smaller. So you can't change that right here, the font size, unless you change it for everything. But one thing you can do is if you go to Chrome extensions, I'll go in here to extensions, and I have to open up the Chrome web store to do this. And I'm going to type in advanced, I think it's font settings. And there it is. I'm going to add that to Chrome, and I'll just put add extension. And the best way to use this is to go up here to where the extension is and go to advanced font settings. And you can't click on anything other than this, and just go to options. I found this kind of hard to get to, but when you get to options here, you want to go down to fixed width fonts, which is your coding font. Now there it's saying Andale Mono. Now I think it was originally at like 13, so put it up to like 20 or 21 or 22, something like that, and then make sure that you hit apply settings. If you don't, if you just X out of here, it won't apply it. So make sure that you hit apply settings when you're done. And then you can close out of this. And now you can see it looks a lot bigger. So if you want any bigger than that, so that'll help us. So I'm doing that first. And what I'll do is take a break here before we start our new database. We'll do that in our next video with phpMyAdmin.